Gibson's image as a superstar who can combine wit and action was just what Franco Zeffirelli needed in a Hamlet for the 90s. So Gibson went to Britain for this most arduous of roles. While he was there, he recorded this candid and unique journal of his personal experiences.
Shepperton Studios, just outside London. They're putting the final touches to the interiors of Elsinore Castle. Raw, echoing, rife with treachery.
They took moldings. They took moldings off real castles. No. It's molding.
It seems kind of right to show your mother and father around the set before you play Hamlet. After all, it's about a guy's relationship with his parents.
But have a look at that. Have a look at all the windows and sort of Gothic work around the place.
Parents are different from everybody else in your life. They accept you for what you are and what you do. I think mine would feed me if I was an axe murderer.
Franco wants a space that he can use.
He made us laugh. We had 10, but he was the one that made us laugh.
So, did you always think there was a theatrical streak in him?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What was that, Mel? Yes, there was always a theatrical streak in him. Yes, definitely.
Do you want to hear that sometimes I think about eating a bullet? Huh? Well, I do. I do. I even got a special one for the occasion with a hollow point. Look, make sure it blows the back of my head out. Do the job right.
He always had an element of danger. He's a dangerous, wonderful, extraordinary, lovable, but dangerous character.
You shouldn't tempt me, man.
He's not just the banality of telling a story. He's a man who has an introspective life, which is a sign of great stature in an actor, and not many have it.
Ow! I'm hungry. I'm gonna go and get something to eat.
And drink. Good stiff water in a dirty glass. You know that nightmare you dream when you've been, like, thrown into the ring with Mike Tyson? Well, I'm in that one right now, only I'm awake.
10 days we'll be shooting.
When I look around, I'm so intimidated, I almost feel like running home. Glenn Close, who plays my mother, and British actors steeped in Shakespeare like Alan Bates as the king and Paul Schofield as my father's ghost.
Walk into that room full of, like, Franco for a start, Paul Schofield, Alan Bates, Ian Holm, Glenn Close, Mel Gibson, chewing on his nicotine gum. You know, you thought, God, if somebody dropped a bomb in this room, it's sort of like a hell of a lot of talent down the drains.
Courageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. It's 10 days before we shoot. My feet are getting colder, and there is no way out.
It will be slated, I imagine, by some people. I think a lot of purists will really have a go at it. How can we have an Aussie-American doing Hamlet and an American star playing Gertrude, who's only just a little bit older than Gibson himself, and all the other obvious criticisms?
My beard?
Yeah.
I'm not real sure I like the facial fungus.
Not sure about it.
I was telling Mel that I saw last night Gallipoli. It was on the BBC One.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful.
I've only seen it about 20 times.
Very moving, very moving.
It's my favorite one.
We know somebody who's seen it 158 times.
Underneath the death mask, it's... who is it? It's Ian Holm, and he's not dead yet. I'll have a stab at killing him later on. I'm still worried about the beard.
I don't know. I'll have to look at some screen tests. We'll have a democratic decision.
I like the Lethal Weapons, and I like the Little... I like The Bounty, too. I thought that was great.
Any ones that you didn't like?
Is there anything I didn't like? No, I don't think so.
I've made some stinkers, really.
Summer City.
I'm gonna be upset around.
No, there was nothing I didn't like. A lot of them didn't turn out really blockbusters, but
What was your first?
he's good whatever he does, I think.
Is that a mother speaking?
That's a
critic.
fan. I say he's good whatever he does. I can hardly sit behind him and not... I just think he's wonderful.
A mother's betrayal. That's very Shakespearean.
Shoulders, Franco.
Huh?
It's about these freak shoulders.
No, we didn't cut it down.
Yeah.
Mel is a mega movie star. And I think for him to put himself on the line playing Shakespeare, but playing Hamlet as well, shows amazing confidence. And I certainly wouldn't say overconfidence. I mean, I think he knows what he can do.
Before I can even work out how Hamlet speaks, I need to get the feel of the man. He may have been brooding and introspective, but he was also an athlete, supreme with the sword.
You come and hit him on the back with the left.
While the costume department apply their finesse to the prince's clothes, I try and bumble around and find my own style. Shakespeare in his play has given us the internal mechanism of the man, but I need to work from the outside. How does he walk? What does he wear? How does he feel? Does he chew gum?
See how it makes your head smaller?
I think the thing that's really been driven home is that I'm the only one that can... It's a very personal thing, more so than a lot of anything else that I've had a crack at. I mean, the character is very personal, and no one else can really kind of give you interpretation. I mean, Franco can suggest things, and you may find that they fit in with what you think, but I've realized that you're pretty much on your own in a way. So. First to Scotland. Donaghadh Castle got the part of Elsinore, nice and eerie. The trouble is the weather wasn't. We came here for dark and angry weather, and instead we got Miami.
Swoon, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, I'll do it. The thou come here to wind, thou'd face me with leaping in her grave. Be buried quick with her, and so will I. Nay, and thou'lt mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
Medieval swimwear, or portable sauna. There's no sun in Hamlet's Denmark, except me, of course. The crew set to work in an effort to block out the summer weather. But then nature comes to our rescue. Rain, and more rain. We've hardly started and we've lost valuable time. But luckily, we're in the hands of the only man, other than Olivier, who has really succeeded in putting Shakespeare on the screen. Franco made Romeo and Juliet, and The Taming of the Shrew with the Burtons.
There is a dummy. Put the dummy at this distance. We don't need her. She's certainly going to create trouble. Come.
Would fight, would weep, would fast. I don't know.
Would tear thyself?
Would tear thyself? Be buried quick.
I'll do it.
Some of us try to remember our lines, while others just flow naturally.
Come on, let me be practical. No, this is not important. I can always do it. You have 100 people waiting, and we have the weather now.
Julia Wilson-Dixon is the voice coach. Franco calls her Shakespeare's widow, and we're working on lines and diction, intonation. She knows this stuff.
Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself. I'll do it.
Films are rarely shot in sequence. They're shot in the order that makes most economic sense, with sets and things. So we start 2/3 of the way in. This is a story brimming with bodies, and today's corpse belongs to Ophelia. Among the mourners, Claudius the king, now married to the widow of the brother he murdered, Queen Gertrude. Laertes, Ophelia's brother, bids her farewell.
A plague on that cursed head whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of! What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures a wandering star?
Hamlet's come to pay his respects to Ophelia, but he's not the most popular person at this burial.
This is I, Hamlet the Dane! Devil, take thy soul! I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat, for I haven't need.
This is very much an action picture. There are more things to worry about here than getting your lines right.
Camera board on it, break. Does that catch the sword at all? Yeah. It does?
Keep getting next to my neck.
One more. Make sure I get my line.
Boys, make it more articulate, not just massive, but 90 bodies there. Try to separate them in intelligent fashion, not nanomolar.
Hold off thy hand! Pluck them asunder!
Hamlet! Hamlet!
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers.
We're practicing, kicking it around like a football team.
Make up my sum.
It's vital to get your timing spot on until Glenn's widow's weeds pull up the flow of the scene. It's nothing unusual. I got my frock caught on a coffin once.
Oh, my God.
Before we all kicked off on this assignment, I'd read Hamlet, I'd seen Hamlet, but I'd never actually played Hamlet. It's more than a part. It's an assault on your personality. Every passing day, his doubts become more your doubts.
There's a section in there where it goes, would weep, would fight, would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself. And it's just, it lacks something. I'll do it. And it just lacks intonation because it's at that pitch where it seems like it's
right.
not...
That's absolutely right. It is slightly unnoted.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Swoon, show me what they'll do!
It's like when you hit a tennis ball, you know, there's a sweet spot on the racket. You can feel the ball fly off it. Well, it's the same with this game, you know, a little bit. Sometimes when you hit the sweet spot, nobody else hits theirs.
Don't face me with leaping in a grave!
You do it, and it's kind of final because then they move the camera somewhere else, so you can't really show it anymore. That evening, you'll get an idea that, why didn't I think of that, or why didn't I do that? You'll just get a whole new look at it. But that process goes on right up till, you know, it's a toss of a coin.
But isn't it always the case when you're making a film that you're never really satisfied?
In a way, yes, but this is more intensified, that feeling. Because you can go so many different ways with it. I mean, it's a minefield.
Sir Franco.
Glenn Close is an actress who seems totally in control. Correction, is totally in control, whether she's running wild in Fatal Attraction or toying with other people's lives in Dangerous Liaisons. She's only a little older than me, so I'm glad I wasn't the guy who had to call her up and ask her to play my mother.
His mother?
Jean-Luc. My Gertrude is very alive. I think she had Hamlet at a very early age, married a much older man, and all her sensuality, all her kind of physical comfort she got from her son. They grew up together. She's very athletic, she's vital, she's a stunning person. She's a kind of woman that three men are revolving around.
So much for the hair.
Not yet, darling.
Franco is obsessive with every minute detail, every garment, every image, every visage.
Your sister will help you.
He said to me the other day, he gave me a 20-minute lecture on it. I found it very hard to believe, but he did, saying, you keep doing this in the close-up, you can do this, it looks ugly. It's just not good, we can't use your close-up, she looks ugly here, no cheekbones. Someone like Glenn, she looks beautiful, because you always know she has here, even when she's ugly, she's beautiful. You're ugly, I can't use it, can't use it.
Upset you?
Yes, I'm now on a diet.
Helena Bonham Carter, so striking in Room with a View, or any room for that matter, was quite simply born to play Ophelia. But Ian Holm thinks he was born too late to play her father.
Polonius, I thought I'm a bit young, perhaps. And he said, well, it's usually played by somebody who's too old. And you're a good actor, darling, so, you know, it'd be nice to have you on board. And he's very charming. So I was really quite chuffed to be asked. Having said that, they didn't have any money. And I thought long and hard about that and then said, no, I'm not going to do it. But then they gave me a little bit more, so I did it. But a little bit more.
Whinging Pom. Nah, he's a great guy for a Pom. Dyson Lovell, producer extraordinaire. He's worked a lot with Franco, and he's practiced in persuading actors to work for next to nothing, damn his eyes. Lovell has these grandiose ambitions, spending most of the budget on renting castles, and even building a few of them. He's actually played Laertes in a production of Hamlet staged in the real Elsinore. In truth, the budget here is going on the right things.